All right, here with reaction, Senator Lindsey Graham. All right, Senator, I'm in a very interesting position here because the president's right. Do we really need, for process crimes, lying to Congress, 30 men in tactical gear, frogmen in your backyard, for either Manafort or Roger Stone? It's ridiculous. The president's right, too. The double standard. People that we know lied, the inspector general said lacked candor. None of them have been held accountable. But I agree with the attorney general. He needs to do his thing alone, be independent. And he rightly said the president never asked him to do anything. Here's the thing, though. Will we get justice? Because we know premeditated fraud on a FISA court occurred. We know Hillary obstructed when she deleted subpoenaed emails and bleach-bitten hammers. We know because Bill Barr told us that there was spying on a presidential campaign transition team and deep into Donald Trump's presidency. I actually have confidence it's going to work out, but why is it so much slower?
Well, there's a process in place, and I don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past, and I trust Bill Barr as much as anybody I've ever met in the law, and he's going to do the right thing by the country. Now, my job is to make sure Crossfire Hurricane never occurs again. I think it reeked with political bias. The 1,000 people who want Barr to resign are doing a political hit job on him. The 4 frontline Mueller prosecutors were asking for a 7 to 9 year sentence that was totally unjustified. There was no threat to a witness that would justify increasing the 3.5 to 4.5 recommendations from the guidelines. So the 4 prosecutors were the ones who were overzealous, and Bill Barr rightly corrected that. So what
and by the way,
job?
General Flynn, he seems like he's going to get to the bottom of that.
He's got a separate person looking at Flynn. I think Flynn was abused here. I think the entire White House interview was a setup, but we'll let the system work. Here's my job as a member of the Senate. I'm not a prosecutor. Durham will do that. I'm going to try to make sure that the public knows that Crossfire Hurricane was not designed to help protect the Trump campaign as it should have been. It was designed to destroy it. And Horowitz said there was no evidence of political bias when it was first opened, but it was murky later on. Here's what I'm trying to prove. It reeked of political bias. I want to find out how far up the chain it went. I want to make sure that no FISA warrants ever issued again like it was against Carter Page, that the system will have more checks and balances. So my goal is to make sure this never happens again to any other campaign and anybody like Carter Page.
Why do I think that if I had deleted emails and subpoenaed emails and I deleted them and then I cleaned forensically my computer hard drive, I'd go to jail? Why do I believe that if I committed premeditated fraud and lied before a court, I'd be in jail? I mean, I think there's a real question here of, wow, we already know these things happen. Why does it have to be all-encompassing at once instead of, hey, you did that, we got the evidence, charge him?
Well, so let's talk about McCabe for a moment. Horowitz said that he lacked candor, McCabe did, regarding an interview with the Horowitz team. And the Barr people said, well, lacking candor didn't amount to beyond a reasonable doubt process crime. I accept that. They're looking at Flynn to see if he really was fairly treated. I hope they will void his plea. They're going to make sure that Roger Stone is not persecuted, but simply justice is delivered in the 7 to 9 year recommendation.
The median time in jail for rape is 4.2 years. I mean, seriously.
So Bill Barr stepped in and stopped what I thought was an unjust sentence enhancement. And to the people who want Barr to resign, we know your agenda. You're not trying to uphold the rule of law. You're trying to take a good man down because you hate Trump.
I think there's something, I think all that we've discussed, premeditated fraud, FISA court, dirty dossier, spying on a president, outsourcing of spying. I feel there's something so big in play that I think the deep state knows it. Andrew Weissman kind of referred to it in his comments. Don't take heart in the McCabe thing because this is much bigger than you ever will know. That's what I believe. It's going to shock the conscience of a nation in the end. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I think Crossfire Hurricane was a danger to democracy. I think it should never happen again. I think it was set up to destroy the Trump campaign, not protect it from Russian influence. I think Andrew Weissman needs to tell the country why it took 2 years to do the Mueller investigation when he should have figured out in the first week there was nothing there.
All right, Senator Lindsey Graham, thanks for what you're doing.